Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are all having an awesome day today. Hey, in today's video I want to talk to you guys about hurricane preparedness, hurricane readiness for your farm animals. Now, I've never been in a hurricane myself, but we've been through a lot of tornadoes, high winds, not necessarily tornadoes hitting the house, but all around us. I mean, we've been through all that, so I can kind of relate as far as that aspect of what to do with the animals. And I've been reading some stuff about this actual situation going on the East Coast. There's a lot of people on the East Coast that are about to get hit by the hurricane. They're predicting it to be one of the worst ones ever. But who knows? You guys know how the news is and how the Weather Channel always predicts stuff a lot more than what it is. Hopefully it's not the worst one ever. But if it is, people need to, you can see Jesse back behind me. Jesse would love for us to be prepared when a tornado comes. But the reality of it is, when it comes to large livestock like Jesse, even sheep. Now, when you got a bunch of sheep, it is going to be a handful trying to figure out something to do when a storm's rolling through. One good thing about hurricanes, there is usually days notice, if not a week's notice, that there's a hurricane coming, so prepare yourself. Hopefully anyone out there on the East Coast is watching this and you guys are going to be affected by this, I hope you guys hear the warnings, and if they're calling for evacuation, evacuate. Now, when it comes down to your animals and what you do, now there's several things you guys can do, and a lot of you, if you have livestock, you already know this, but this is more for maybe newbies that just got livestock and never went through a situation like a tornado or hurricane, or just people in general who want to know, what do you guys do with your farm animals when you have a tornado coming or when you have a hurricane coming? Like I said though, if you have a hurricane coming, you guys usually got a few days up to a week's notice, so you have plenty of time to prepare things. For tornado, it's like a 20-minute notice. Now they'll be able to predict severe thunderstorms, but tornado, actually they don't know until they start getting rotation and hits the ground, so you don't have a whole lot of time. So with my experience, what we do with our livestock, we let them just free range. Now we just let them roam the open field. That's their best chance of survival out here on our farm, our homestead. For people who have large barns and things like that bring their animals in at night during a tornado, that might not be the best situation, because a lot of animals die each year from barn fires, if you can believe that or not. Now for hurricanes, that's the thing about hurricanes, that drops a lot of rain over several days, even a short period of time. The winds are 100+ miles an hour. Category 5 is like 150 plus or something like that, 155 plus. So a hurricane is, I'd rather be going through a tornado than a hurricane, trust me, because a hurricane lasts for days. You guys are in the aftermath is crazy, such a widespread area. So for you guys that don't have animals and you just kind of wonder what to do with what we do with our animals, we let ours just roam. I don't pin them up in their pen for say, like I let these free range. I let the pigs free range for those two over there. I don't lock all the sheep and Jesse and the pig up. I just let them roam. To me, that's their best chance of survival, because if I lock them up, then the tree falls on them or the shelter falls over. I mean, things can happen. So I like just let them run through the field, and that's the reality of it. Now for a hurricane, some people, if they're calling for evacuation and you just have a small lot and you don't have a barn, I personally would just let them free range, just like this. I know I've read stories where people had to evacuate and they locked all their sheep or they locked their pigs up in the barn, and their barn got blown over and killed several animals, and the animals that weren't, like the horses that weren't locked up or whatnot in the field, survived. So if it was me, if you guys were asking me for advice, hey Dutch, what do you do with your animals during a storm, something like this? Just let them roam. Even I know when California having all these fires, and people were just opening up their pens and letting their horses just run for their lives, and that's basically all you could do, because logistically, people just don't. If they have a lot of cattle, a lot of sheep, they don't have the resources to be able to move them sheep in a short amount of time to a different location, because these hurricanes that are going to hit, the hurricanes going to hit the East Coast, it's going to cover hundreds of miles, 100-mile radius. So it's just not going to be localized like maybe a tornado would be going through a path. So when they got to evacuate, they have to evacuate far, far away inland for sure. So yeah, that's really all I want to talk to you guys about, because I know a lot of people ask me in the past what I do with my animals during tornadoes. We just let them be. We let them run around, pretty much fend for themselves at that point, then come back after the math. So I feel for all the hurricane victims that are getting ready to be victims here shortly. Every year we don't like this time of year. For that fact, in Florida and the East Coast usually get hit with the hurricane, and it's a bad deal for thousands and thousands of people. So with that being said, I hope this gives you a little bit of mindset of what homesteaders and farmers do with their animals. Now, if you guys do things different with your animals, leave me a comment down below and say, hey Dutch, this is actually what we do with our animals. We are able to evacuate them and take them to my sister's house 50 miles away. Or hey, we actually lock them in a barn, and we've had great success with that. Now, locking them up in a barn, to me, is chancing it. You know, barn fires and shelters falling over are some of the main causes of death when it comes to situations like this, like the hurricane. They're calling for, I've read one thing, I don't know how true this is, you guys correct me on this, but I read one article that's saying that North Carolina and that area over there might get up to 4 to 5 feet of rain. Flood crazy, flood central. So something like that. If I was to flood right here, we have several high spots the animals can get up on and survive. Oklahoma gets flash floods and actually several day floods out here during the rainy season. Not every year, but often. And I've came across farmers where their whole say they have 15 acres. The whole 15 acres is covered in water from the flood, but this one little maybe acre patch is not, up in the corner, and they built it up just for that, knowing that that land floods. So they built it up in the corner, and all the animals go right up to that corner, and they can survive the flood. I've seen them come with tractors and put through the water, not real high water obviously, and put feed out there on that little dry half-acre lot for all their cows. I mean, farmers, homesteaders, they do the best they can, and the reality of it is, you might lose some livestock during disasters like this. There's going to be casualties, and it's a sad deal, but it's just reality of it. Obviously, you got to take care of your family first, your wife and kids, or your husband and your kids, whatever you got going on, and then the livestock comes second. Don't get me wrong, livestock's very important. Animals are very important on the homestead, but we all know the most important thing is our family. So once you take care of that, that's when you come back and you take care of the rest of the stuff. So hopefully all you guys got enough warning out there that you're able to prepare your homestead, your farm for this hurricane. Maybe you are able to evacuate or whatnot. Like I said before, so I don't repeat myself a bunch of times, leave a comment down below if you guys are over there, or if you've been through a hurricane yourself before and you have livestock, you have sheep, chickens, goats, whatever, and tell me what you guys did. Did you just let them free range? Did you put them in a pen? What did you do? That way we can have a discussion down below in the comment section for newbies or just people in general who don't know what people do. So let's get the conversation going down there. There's always good conversation going down there on my channel. Usually it's either, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. I take the good with the bad. I take the bad with the good, however you want to say it. All right, guys. Prayers go out to all the hurricane people, all the hurricane future victims that are getting ready to happen in the next few days. We keep you in our prayers, and hopefully you all stay safe and you guys take warning and you evacuate and you get enough. A lot of people are going through the stores and getting all the supplies and generators and all that stuff. So hopefully you guys are prepared. That's one reason why you guys always need to be prepared for any situation. At least a hurricane, you got time. But for like an ice storm, a tornado coming, you never know when all your power is going to be out. So it's always good to have a generator on hand, extra water on hand, food. You guys know this. So just always have that mindset of being prepared to be able to provide for your family for several days, even several weeks if need be. All right, guys, hope you guys like this little video of me just talking about bringing awareness of this hurricane coming and what people do with their livestock. If you did like it, smash that like button for me if you would. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. If you get a chance, click that little bell and you'll get notifications whenever I put new content out. And catch you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching. Stay safe.